Hello and welcome to another vlog. If you're new here, hi, I'm Valia. I am an author. I write cozy fantasy romances and witchy rom-coms, and this is a week in my life, but specifically focused on me drafting this book. So I think this is the third vlog that I have made about this book, and the progress is progressing, albeit slightly slower than I would have liked. Last week was not as productive as I would have liked. And if you watched my previous vlog, you will see that that was the struggle. But that is just a realistic look into the life of an author, because not every single day is going to be super productive or what we even plan out for ourselves. And that is just how it works. So this week I have very specific goals on my list, and one of those goals is to draft at least 15,000 words, 20,000 words if I can swing it. So every single day I am prioritizing writing time, which is something that sometimes is very difficult because there is just so much to do. As an indie author, you are responsible for every aspect of your career, and that involves doing a lot of behind the scenes work. And so I have a tendency to hyper focus on that when there are things that need to be done. And so then I forget to write, which is the part that I love about my job. And I mean, you know, I love my job. I really love my job, but sometimes I just wish that I could write and do nothing else. But you know what, I chose this and I love that. So that, I don't know how we got into this subject. Let's just talk about the writing. So this book is the first book in a series of standalones that are set in my Russian fairy tale world, and it is a cozy fantasy rom-com, and I love it so much already. I am having so much fun with these characters. I talked about this in a previous vlog, but this is the first time I am in this world but writing characters that are like just completely brand new. In the previous books that I have in the Skaska world, every single book is a fairy tale retelling, so there is sort of a blueprint of what kind of characters I need to write. Even though I create the characters, there's still a blueprint for the story and things that need to happen because it is a fairy tale retelling. But with these books, they're not fairy tale retellings, they're just set in the world of fairy tales, and these characters are not involved in the fairy tales in any kind of way, so they are just completely brand new, and I am having a lot of fun with them. So basically today is Monday and we're gonna see how much I can get written. I will try to do a check-in. I said that I was gonna do this last week and then I didn't. I said that I would start the day and finish the day with a word count, and I did not vlog that either. I was just, yeah, I was in the pits of despair, guys, which is something that happens when you're writing, but that's fine. It's just part of the process, and we are here for the process, which are what these vlogs are. So let's sit down and actually get some words on paper. I managed to do a lot of the prep work and business work this morning. I have already had a Zoom call with my author besties, so now I can actually focus on the writing part. So that is what we're gonna do. Hello, reporting live from my bed. Well, not live by the time you watch it, but it is currently 10:51 p.m. on a Monday, and I realized that I did not do an update for the word count for the day, and I I did not have the best writing day, but I did not have the worst writing day. I was very busy with other things. So I did not end up writing as much as I would like to have written, but this is why we are in bed and gonna work a little bit. I'm not typically a work in bed person. I have been trying very hard to kind of separate the working space from the relaxation space, but I am putting myself on a hard deadline for this week. So here we are. It is almost 11 p.m. and I need to finish this chapter. This is our little setup. I brought my free write with me. So I'm just gonna finish this chapter and then go to bed and we'll go from there. So basically that is my update. I don't know how many words I wrote. So I will try to look that up tomorrow and then we'll give you an actual word count number because I didn't really do that this last week, but I kind of want to. So we'll just do that. But yeah, I'm just gonna write now. So I decided that today would be the day I go to a cafe to work. It is Tuesday and I went to Pure Bar and then I went home, I got ready, and then now I am at a cafe that's like the only cafe around me where I can work, and I'm gonna do about 2 hours of work, I think, and then head home to finish, because what happens when I work at a cafe, because I only brought my free write, so what happens is that I write a bunch of scenes and a bunch of little things, and I'm gonna need my computer to fix things. So I'm giving myself 2 hours of just like straight up just drafting, and then I can go home and kind of fix everything and rearrange everything where it needs to go and go from there. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited because of where I am in the book. There is a lot of tension happening and a lot of really fun bantery scenes. So I'm in a really good spot to just kind of write for 2 hours straight, and then I can go home and get it all organized and whatnot. So yeah, we're having a little bit of a different writing week this week because I am trying to really get to like 20,000 words on this book. So let's see what we can do. It is now Thursday night at 10:33 p.m. and I realized that I did not do any kind of an update yesterday on my writing or really anything today. So this is just a quick recap of what's going on with this book. Drafting this week has been kind of up and down. It has been going well. It's just, I don't know how to explain it without giving spoilers. So that's the thing. But I basically, word-wise, we're gonna do a word count because I said I was gonna do that. Okay, so on Tuesday, we ended up with 2,228 words that I actually kept. I did write more than this actually, but I ended up deleting, I think it was about 1,000 words because I was just not satisfied with what was happening. So I ended up at the end, after the rewrites and deleting and going in a different direction, I ended up with 2,228 words. And then yesterday, I also did some deleting and stuff, but at the end of the day, we ended up with 1,698 words. So less than what I would want, but I do think that I have kind of figured out what I wanted to do in the next couple of chapters. And this is what happens when you write as a pantser. You kind of explore the story as it comes along. And I thought I wanted to take the story in one direction, but now we're actually going in a slightly different direction, but a lot more fun for me. And this is the part where I can't really talk about specifics without giving, spoilers and stuff like that. But the one thing that I'm really loving is the dynamic between my two main characters. My main girl is very chaotic energy, and she's just out to prove herself, like, to everybody. She just needs to prove herself to everybody. And then my main male character is the most calm boyfriend energy ever. He just kind of stands there and leans on things when she's like losing her mind, and then he'll just say one word or one sentence and just set her off completely again. And it's just been really, really fun to write that dynamic. It's kind of a dynamic I wanted to write for a different book as well, so you might see it again, but in a different way, of course. But I don't know, I'm just having a lot of fun with it. So I'm really, really satisfied with the chapters that are reworked and rewritten so far. So the next, basically tomorrow, here's the thing, I'm not writing today because it is 10:37 and I have to be up at 5 tomorrow. So I am probably just gonna look over the chapters, but not actually sit down to commit to any kind of words. So tomorrow, my plan is to write 5K, which is totally doable. I have done way more than that in a day before. And now that I kind of have a feel of the story and where it's going, I can fast draft pretty fast. The thing with putting any kind of number on the day, it kind of, I don't know if it's going to be helpful or if it's not going to be helpful. It's 50-50 for me. Sometimes putting a number on the day is just like the motivation that I need. And sometimes I am writing complete nonsense because I'm just trying to hit the number instead of actually focusing on the story. So we're going to see how tomorrow goes. I'm going to bar in the morning, and then I'm meeting a friend for lunch. And then I'm coming home and basically working for the rest of the day and getting my 5K in or more. So I'll do an update tomorrow, but yeah, I realized that I did not come back and do any kind of updates, but it's fine, okay? We're moving forward, and I think at this point, next week is gonna be a little bit more hectic in the sense that I am planning on finishing this book next week. So I am going to need to write over the weekend and then into next week, kind of continuously fast drafting as much as I can, because I want this first draft to be done by the end of next week so that I can have time to kind of read over it and edit before I send it to my beta readers. And my two author besties that read my books first, they are amazing on feedback because I underwrite specific parts of my book all the time, mostly because I don't care about those parts as much as the other parts. So my other besties are very good about being like, Valia, you need to expand. Valia, you need to add more things here. So this book can't be long, which is why this first draft is shorter than my typical first draft. But I think by the time I'm finished with the edits, it's going to be pushing that limit on the word count that we have been been given basically for this book. So yeah, it's gonna be great. I'm gonna be able to do it, guys. I definitely am gonna be able to do it. That's end. Period. End of the sentence. I'm going to be able to do it. So I will check back tomorrow with the progress. But that has been my week so far. Today is Sunday and I am going to write more. So I think that will be the last clip for this vlog because I do want to talk more about where I'm at in the story once I actually sit down in front of the computer and do the work. But I have been kind of alternating between using my free write and then using their Sprinter desktop app. It's kind of like free write in sense that all you can do is write, but I've been wanting to use my keyboard a little bit more when I'm at the desk. So yeah, this week has definitely been a little bit more shifty in that I've been trying to find ways to write more, and so it has been working. So hopefully this last week going into it will be even more so because I need to finish this book next week and I will be taking you with me for the vlog. But so far so good. We'll see how many words I can write Sunday night and then we'll wrap up this vlog then. And yeah, that's all for now. So we're doing a very quick update to finish off this vlog. It is Sunday. Technically it is Monday morning now because it is past midnight. I'm exhausted, but I wanted to kind of wrap up this vlog and talk about this week and the writing that has happened, because I did do a lot of writing, but I think I mentioned this earlier, maybe in the introduction or right before this, but I did get stuck in a few places, and I think the biggest reason for this is because I have to draft this novel in a shorter, a more concise way than I typically do. And I do think that that is kind of hindering me a little bit because I keep thinking, you know, how do I kind of tell the whole story in a shorter amount of time? And I've never been a short story writer. I've never been someone who can do really well with just that kind of a medium. I think like short story writing, anything like that, it takes a different kind of a brain. And so I definitely think that it has made a difference because the word count does need to be so much shorter than usual. It's kind of putting me in almost like a little box. And if you know me at all, or if you have seen other vlogs, I have talked about the fact that I do not outline because I need to kind of discover the story as I'm writing it. And because if I do outline or do any intense kind of planning, it feels like I have already told myself the story, I have put myself in kind of a box, and then it's just harder for me to write. And so I feel like this shorter word count, I am consciously conscious of it at the back of my head, and so I think it's actually hindering. There isn't really a way to fix this because this book does need to be a specific length because it is part of a collab project, but I just need to push through this last week. I can't hinder myself or can't get hung up on these things. I just kind of need to push forward. And so basically that is my plan for the last week of May, which I am very excited about because I am excited to finish this book. It has been a lot of fun, I'm not gonna lie, but I definitely have also like not pre-planned, because obviously like I don't plan a lot, but I plan some, okay guys? It's not complete chaos all the time, okay? I do have to plan certain things. And so of course I named all my characters and stuff like that, and I kind of already introduced the couples from the next books because this is going to be a series of standalone set in the same small village. And so I am just excited to write all the books at the same time because that's what I do. So the word count for this week ended up being under 10K, which is not what I wanted. I wanted to actually have over 10K, but you know what? I made really good progress and I'm very excited about it. So this following week, or this new week, the last week of May, I am hoping, I think word count wise, we're going for another 10K to kind of finish it off, but also I will be going back and re-editing some parts, so we will see what happens because it is the last week. I cannot believe it's the last week of May, and I just need to finish this book. And yeah, because I will be doing this all over again in June, writing the next one, and that's going to be a completely different experience because that book is all me and it does not have a word count, you know, any kind of restrictions on it, so we'll see how it works. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end it in here and go to bed. Maybe do a little bit of drafting on my phone in bed because I have been doing that a little bit more. Maybe I'll talk about that in another vlog or in this next vlog, but for now this will be all. If you like this kind of content, if you like following along with my writing journey, make sure you subscribe to this channel, like this video, leave me a comment, let me know what you're up to, what you're reading, if you're writing, what you're writing. But yeah, that will be all, and I'll see you guys next one.